I'm the co-founder of Gauvendi, and Gauvendi is a new system type for accommodation operators, empowering them to sell, price, and distribute their inventory in a very novel way. Before we get into the hyper-personalization bit, I just want to start with a simple question. What are accommodation operators actually selling, right? Very obvious, you think. It's a good night's sleep, it's a stay experience. But when you look from a customer perspective and their travel context, it's maybe not so obvious, because it really matters why I'm traveling in the first place. What's my motivation? Is it for business? Is it for leisure? Do I have to be in a meeting, etc.? It really matters with whom am I traveling. Do I travel alone? Do I travel with my mother, my wife, my fiancé, my boss, or my family and kids? And for how long do I travel? One night, just in and out, just need to catch a flight? Or is it for an annual vacation? Now, depending on my travel context, I perceive accommodation experiences very differently. And I also buy accommodation experience very differently. And this brings me to the point of sale. And hopefully, for all these accommodation operators maybe in the room, it's their own brand.com. And the point of sales is really the first contact, but it's actually where your brand promise meets reality. And a lot of big brands understand that, right? That's why we have flagship stores. Just look at Nike, just look at Tesla, just look at Apple, right? They have flagship stores where they showcase their products and they have a great purchase experience. But now that leads me to websites, brand hotel websites. They might look beautiful, but when it comes to booking a room, the experience is frustrating, if not appalling, to be honest. Because why? No matter why I'm traveling, for how long I'm traveling, with whom I'm traveling, I'm getting the same room types all over the place. Where's the personalization here? If I have specific requests, I want a high floor away from the elevator, but also want a specific shower or view, I have to call or have to send an email. And revenue management went a little bit too far because I'm getting overwhelmed by all these rate plans, right? Flexi rates and non-flexible rates. I need a week to read all this stuff. And after all, it's a lack of transparency. There's always a surprise element. When I make a room booking, I'm not really sure what I'm expecting, even if I know the brand. Why is this so difficult? Because accommodation operators manage their inventory in room categories. And there was a good reason for it. Because the distribution jungle, especially in the digital age, is complex. It is a jungle. And it's very difficult to basically move out and distribute your inventory in all these different distribution channels. But those simplified categories are also failing consumers and operators today. Because we talk about personalization. Well, there is no standard guest. Why do we sell standardized room types? And besides, why do we commoditize our core value asset, right? And with lack of upselling opportunities. So let's just look at the landscape in accommodation, because there's a lot of innovation around pricing. We all know about dynamic pricing, right? A room costs today $250 and tomorrow $280, whatever supply and demand. But where is the innovation around inventory management? There hasn't been any. But it's very rewarding to innovate around inventory, because just look at these guys, other sectors, right? You can think of them what you want, but they revolutionized the way they retail furniture with their cost per touch and flat pack solution. Or just look at other industries like the car automobiles, right? They're using the same platform, but create different brands and cars out of it and have higher margins. So what we have done at Gauvendi is we redefined how inventory is being managed. And we started by decomposing the stay experience, starting from the room. The first thing we done, we created a granular data feature-based language, experience dimension we call them, right? Layout, bathroom, outdoor spaces, etc. And we created this icon language which consumers can understand. And the second concept we introduced is what we refer to as polydynamic product management. We decoupled the physical room from the product we sold. So we can sell the same unit in different ways. We can sell it like most hotels or all hotels pretty much do today as a standard category with no real preferences. But we could take the same unit and highlight specific features. We could sell it to an Asian traveler as a feng shui spacious single room because it's north-facing and it's medium-sized. Or we can sell it as a high-floor rainforest shower room appealing to a corporate. Or we could sell it as a romantic double, right, with skyline view, or completely personalized. Every customer has a different willingness to pay, subject to their travel context. And why wouldn't you do that? Because a good salesperson would do it anyway. Now, with this new type of inventory management, we call it dynamic inventory, not dynamic pricing, dynamic inventory. Actually, everything can change for the better for the guest operators and owners. Now, there's a couple of use cases. The first thing is the booking experience, because now you can offer hyper-personalized booking experiences. You can do individualized distribution. That means you can say, this room, I'm selling it for OTA 1 as this, as a family room, and for OTA 2, I'm selling it as a standard. And directly, I'm selling it again, completely different. There's new automation possible, because with this granular data, AI can really do its work, and we can automate stuff which we have to do manually today, like room assignments in an intelligent way. We can do attribute-based pricing. We can price high floor, low floor, large bathroom, small bathroom, etc. And we can do micro-targeting and sales promotions. So before I get into selling, ultimately this new inventory management allows us to do better guest experiences, to deliver higher brand premium, increased operational efficiency, and deliver higher return on your real estate. But before we can sell hyper-personalized experiences, we also had to change a couple of other things. And we started with replacing booking engines from hotel websites and replace them with sales engines. Now, sales engines, the difference is we're using real-time data, AI, to deliver more relevant content and products. And there's a couple of sales tactics which we use to do that. The first sales tactics, we're all very familiar with this when you use Netflix, right? Netflix, they use this thing, you have these matches, right? You have these matches based on your past viewing behavior. And it never works for me because my kid's using the same account and the algorithm is slightly confused. But it is a great principle. And we incorporated that logic into the booking experience. We allow customers to pick their preferences and then present them matches of rooms. So the benefit of that is there's a 75% match or 80% match. The booker sees exactly what they get and what they don't get. And they make the trade-off, and they don't even notice that there's with subtle price differences that they're being upsold. There's another sales tactic we use. Everybody's familiar with this personalization. A lot of people know the Coca-Cola campaign, right, where they just change the name of the brand into personalized names. Now, we can sell like that in a hotel as well. Why not? And that's what we've done. We have some hotels which use the local heroes of the town, and they sell personalized room names, but they also sell categories at the same time to third parties. And then there's a third sales tactic, a very powerful one, which we introduced. A little anecdote to that, because it happened in a bar. We were celebrating something, and some guy said, okay, why don't we order a bottle of champagne? And we ordered a Dom Perignon, right, 320 euros. And it was a bar, and it was a little dark. And when this bottle was served, the label was illuminating, and everybody looked at us. And then I looked at the menu again, and I saw the same bottle for $40 less expensive. And I thought to myself, what just happened? $40 just to show off? And I thought, how can we incorporate this sales tactic into selling room experiences? And this is actually what we have done. We introduced a concept called graded labeling. So we put some labels on top, lowest price, most popular, and so on, and then put the room products below it. It doesn't work with room categories, by the way, because that's not viable. I mean, you cannot say my most popular product is a deluxe room. We recommend a junior suite. No, it works with, this is a room high floor away from the elevator. Other people like that as well. That's how it works. And we know that because Amazon does it very successfully, right? They sell books like that. Other people who bought this book also bought that book. And I bought a lot of books in my life I didn't want to, just because of this sales tactic. So you ask yourself, it's all great, but does it move the needle? Yeah, it does. basically, these are real results from our customers year to date, right? We took on their websites and we replaced the booking engines with the sales engine and these concepts. And they came all from a look-to-book conversion ratio between 2.5%, 3%, which is pretty much industry standard when you book on hotel websites. And we moved it up to 7.9, almost 8%. Yeah, we also upsold 68% of every booking. That means out of 10 bookings, 7 people booked a higher value product. Only 3 booked the lowest price. And the hotels made an average 17% higher rooms revenue just by upselling these personalized products. So high floor, low floor, or by name, etc. So they got all better guest reviews, they automated a lot of reservation processes, and they drove a channel shift, more direct business for lower cost. So where do we see the future going? We believe we have to stop merchandising commodities in our industry. And we have to start merchandising personalized experiences, because that's not really what we do today. It's not about loyalty programs with point systems and all the historic data, we believe. It's about real-time data relevant to the travel context of each traveler. It's kind of like, I describe it, it's kind of like, we know this experience already in a good restaurant, right? I mean, it's kind of like when you have a good waiter, right? You don't even notice a good waiter, because a good waiter is there when you need him, he has great recommendations for you, and that's a great experience. And we want to bring this experience to the purchase experience, and that's what we did. And this is only possible with 2 things. New technology, you have to be AI-based, because you need that new technology. But on the other side, it's not working if you don't change the data structure of your inventory. And if you ask yourself how you get there, just to demonstrate the 4 stages we believe, where we put and segment the market and the journey towards hyper-personalization, as we call it. If you have on the x-axis the traditional, let's say, technology and moving up to AI, and on the y-axis you start with static inventory and dynamic inventory, then most operators are stuck with selling room types and auxiliary services. They depend on scale and large loyalty programs. Now, of course, there's great CRM tools out there which already personalize a lot, and you can do a lot, but they're still selling room types. Now, recently, some big hotel chains have started to experiment with attribute-based selling, where you select a room category and then say, oh, I want high floor, or I want low floor, or whatever. But what we are doing is hyper-personalization. It's anticipating needs. It's just like that waiter in the restaurant. It's putting the right stuff in front of you, right, which is relevant to your travel context. If you want to choose, you choose. If you don't want to choose, we recommend. And this is where we see the power. Now, with this, I think it's a huge opportunity for accommodation operators to gain back control of their distribution, to really sell experiences and not just commodities. Yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you very much.